Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today we're going to be tasting a hyper-regional sandwich that comes from the Midwest, primarily in the Wisconsin, Ohio area, and it is called the Big Stinky, also known as a Limburger cheese sandwich. Now, from that moniker, you can tell that this sandwich is odoriferous. Hence the name. The sandwich is made with a healthy layer of Limburger cheese on dark rye bread with red onion. And in fact, you can have this exact sandwich at Baumgartner's Cheese Store and Tavern in Monroe, Wisconsin. They serve the Big Stinky. They are in fact the oldest cheese store in the US. Since 1931, they've been in continuous business, and it looks super great because you can have this sandwich along with a beer, which is the traditional pairing, sometimes with strong coffee. And it is very popular among Swiss and German immigrants because the sandwich originates from that region in Europe where it is eaten exactly like that. Cheese, onion, sometimes a little bit of mustard on rye bread, along with coffee and beer. So from my understanding, Limburger cheese is called that when it is made outside of Europe. It is also known originally as Elve cheese, and it comes from the French-speaking Belgium area of Liège. And originally it was aged in caves, and it is in the category of cheese called a smear ripened cheese. This cheese is notorious for a strong odor. Some say it's a bit like feet, very odoriferous. But the most interesting fact I found about this smear ripened cheese is that it's inoculated with Brevibacterium linens. This is the same bacterium that we find all over, it's ubiquitous, all over our skin. It is the one that contributes to body odor and foot odor. Same exact bacterium. Amazing, right? So come along with me as I make myself a homemade Big Stinky and let you know what it tastes like. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. So this is Country Castle Limburger cheese, and only one company survives that makes this cheese, at least in the United States. And it is made by Chalet Cheese Co-op in Monroe, Wisconsin. Only manufacturers of this cheese in the US. I ordered this online and it was delivered, and yes, it has a very pungent smell. I wouldn't say it smells like feet entirely. I think it's missing that kind of soury aspect of feet, but it does have tinges of it for sure. But I don't find it exactly unpleasant. So we have this. I also ordered from the cheese shop Ussinger's, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Ussinger's or Ussinger's beef summer sausage and vintage cheddar cheese as well. Both of these come from Wisconsin, and this is also a traditional kind of pairing. When you get a Big Stinky, you get a little side of summer sausage and cheese, so we'll try that as well. But first, let us assemble the Big Stinky. So we need just 3 ingredients: red onion, cheese, and some dark rye bread. So if you've never had pumpernickle bread before, it is very distinctive both for its color and its pleasant caraway scent. It's a bit like licorice or anise, and it goes famously, in my opinion, with corned beef or pastrami. But today we're having it with cheese. We're gonna cut some onion, and I'm just gonna cut a nice thick slab of onion. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at the interior of that. Gorgeous. What's really interesting about Limburger cheese, as it ages and ripens, it changes texture. Initially, it's quite crumbly and firm, kind of similar to feta, and as the bacterium does its thing, it gets progressively softer and softer. It takes about 3 months to get it to that very aromatic and soft stage as the finished cheese. This is good until August 7th. So if I did not have this until August, the flavors would develop even more. Oh, it says right here, Limburger fact coating date, best diffused by date. 4 to 6 month code date left, firm, crumbly center, flavor, some softness to the edges. That's a beginner Limburger. So it says 4 to 2.5 month code date left. Cheese is soft to the center, slightly sweet and earthy flavor of Limburger. That's most enjoyable at this age. It says 2.5 months code date left. Cheese, very soft to spreadable body and very strong pungent flavor. Die hard, true Limburger lover. I don't really understand what they mean by the coating. I think basically the older it is, the closer to this best used by date or afterwards, the stronger the flavor and the more odoriferous it's going to become. I'm going to open this up. Okay, there it is. Here's our cheese, and oh yes, I definitely can smell it now. Very pungent, and it has this kind of yellow creamy colored cast to it. Now we're really smelling it, and yes, it's very, very, very stinky. Yes, stinky, funky, barnyardy. Yeah, it's strong. Wow, that foil really works in containing that smell. A few years ago, I did a video on melting and eating raclette. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to that down below. I used a special raclette heater upper that uses a candle, and it's similar to fondue and just so stinking delicious. Cool little gadget and delicious tasting cheese. Yo, look at the Limburger. Alrighty, time to cut the cheese. Here we go. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that's lovely. Look at it inside. I think we are eating it in its ideal state. Soft and creamy, not too soft, not overly ripe. And then we just lay this on our bread. I'm cutting about 1/4 inch pieces. Pale in color. Lovely. Oh my gosh. This is the perfect slab for this shape of bread. That's so satisfying. Look at that. It mirrors the bread. Oh, love that. Love that. I didn't plan that. Okay. We have our cheese. Now we're going to take this beautiful onion, place it right on top of there, and close it up. Ta-da! That, my lovelies, is the Big Stinky. So while we're at it, why don't we slice some summer sausage as well? So this is beef summer sausage by Ussinger's, and this looks great. So remove the casing as you eat it. Peel it back and slice it that way too, or just peel the casing off each individual slice. Either way works. Ooh, I can smell the smokiness already. Oops, that one would go to the dog if I had one. And I'm going to cut some cheddar too. I love cheddar cheese so much. Ooh, and this one is colored with annatto, so it's this yellow color. And when I do get cheddar, I usually get the aged sharp cheddar from Cabot, and it's white, but orange is lovely too. Alrighty, there's my Wisconsin plate of goodies. Alrighty, my lovelies, my very first taste of Limburger cheese in the form of the Big Stinky sandwich. Itadakimasu. The cheese is very pungent and very funky, super strong flavor. But then you get a huge big bite of the sweet red onion, which has a really strong sulfury element as well. But that crunch goes so well with the soft cheese. And then you've got strongly flavored bread in the rye bread that has that caraway anisey flavor, a slight kind of molasses sweetness. It's great. I love it. It's a very aggressively flavored sandwich, even though it only has 3 ingredients, but it's delicious. Onion goes really well with the cheese. It kind of cuts down the strong funkiness of the cheese with its own sulfury aggressiveness. And it has a bit of a alum bite to it too. When you bite into a raw onion, a lot of it, it's kind of peppery and spicy. So that's a nice component to the sandwich as well. And rye bread. I don't usually like rye bread because I'm not a huge anise licoricey flavored person, but here it works super well. Again, because the flavors are so very strong, they all work really well together. Now, I am an onion lover. When I get In-N-Out Burger, I always get raw onion. And this, I'm like, this sandwich seems like it's really oniony because I put 2 layers of onion. Okay, I don't think it needs quite that much onion. Let's take one of those out and try that again with just 1 single layer. Yeah, alrighty, here we go. You still get that really great vegetal succulent crunch, strong soulful flavors, a little bit peppery, but not that much. I had 2 layers of it, which was too much. I was trying to imagine it with coffee. I'm not sure if I would like it with a cup of coffee, but I would definitely try it. I can definitely imagine having this with a cold beer though. So here's the summer sausage. Kind of looks a little bit like salami in terms of having little flecks of fat along with finely ground meat. No pepper though. I cut it nice and thick. And unlike salami, it has a strong smoky smell to it. All right, let's give this a taste. Pretty salty, very smoky. The texture and the flavor in terms of smokiness remind me a little bit of kielbasa, although I don't taste any garlic, just smoky, kind of beefy. Oh, it reminds me of a beef stick. If you've ever had a little beef stick or pepperoni stick, kind of similar to that, but no pepperiness, but tasty. Alrighty, let's try some cheese. 5-year-old cheddar. Itadakimasu. I love cheddar so much. This has had a few minutes to kind of warm up to room temperature, so it has kind of a softer texture to it, but it's getting drier because it's an older cheddar, so it's a little bit crumbly, but it's got a really sharp bite to it, tangy, nutty, and I love aged sharp cheddars. So delicious. In fact, I don't like mild cheddars. I don't. I like them sharp. Delicious. I'll try it with that and this. This is delicious. The funkiness definitely is different in your mouth and in your smell, but it's definitely present. If you don't like stinky cheeses, I don't know why you would be tasting the Big Stinky if you don't like stinky cheeses. Maybe because you're just adventuresome. Then kudos to you. But if you don't like stinky cheeses, then you probably won't like this sandwich, which is sort of understandable. But if you do like stinky cheeses, definitely try this sandwich. It's delicious. Limburger cheese is delicious as well. Very strong cheese, but served in this manner, so good. Alrighty, my lovelies, there you have it. That's the Big Stinky. That's how you make it at home. Super easy, super simple. If you like stinky cheeses, highly recommend it. It's absolutely delicious. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care. Bye. So good. All is so good.